There's one issue that isn't about the candidate, which they'll be voting in Colorado for on the ballot. Marijuana for medical use is already legal in Colorado. In fact, there's 204 dispensaries in the Mile High City. Now, that's roughly 3 times the number of the Starbucks and McDonald's here combined. So who can buy it? Well, you have to visit a doctor or an osteopath who will decide whether you're eligible for a medical marijuana licence. Now, the most common qualifying complaint, shall we say, is chronic pain, which can be difficult to quantify, but we do know that there are over 100,000 licence holders that use these dispensaries. We went to visit one of the dispensaries. Hello.
I need to get a ID from all of you,
Sure.
and we'll have you sign our visitor log,
Sure.
and we'll give you a visitor badge. It'll be number 1, 3, and 5.
Hank is waiting to get buzzed in. Quite a bit of security, just trying to get through the second door, which will bring us into the area.
Maybe not paying attention, but I do have a key. Come on in.
And in we walk. Smell hits me first, let's be honest. It's kind of like a cross between, I guess, a candy store and a bank. We have 3 spots where you can sit, like a bar, all for individual people, a wall on each side, not unlike a bank at all. We've got Beatles playing in the background. And then behind the counter, I can see a number of sweets, candies that contain marijuana. And then up on the right-hand side, we've got a shelf, just like those big old-fashioned candy jars, but they're full of marijuana buds.
My name is Ian Seeb. I am the co-owner of Denver Relief, one of 3 owners. We are Denver's longest continuously operating medical marijuana center. We're considered some of the pioneers of the industry here in Colorado, which is the first really regulated industry.
Now, proposed changes that are coming. Amendment 64 is part of this election process in the state of Colorado. Tell us a little bit about it.
Amendment 64 would essentially regulate marijuana like alcohol. It would allow adults over the age of 21 to possess and grow marijuana.
Are you in favour of it?
Yes, I am, because I believe that marijuana should be legal for all adults. You know, I don't think that the government should be telling us what we can and cannot do as far as putting a harmless plant like marijuana into our bodies, and I've always felt that way.
What you got?
We have a Space Skunk, Bio Jesus, Sour Diesel, and Headband.
That sounds great. Sour Diesel and Headband would be a hell of a combination.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Oh, Douglas.
What do you think of Amendment 64?
I think it's fantastic just because being here in the state, there's so many more problems associated with alcohol and people being inebriated and intoxicated with alcohol, and with marijuana there tends to not be any problems.
So, do you mind telling me who you are?
Tony Sataniano.
So what do you think about Amendment 64?
I think that I would vote no. Basically, I think the access is where it needs to be right now, and I think that's just too much, flooding the market, so to speak.
What's your main concern?
Probably the kids that would have access to it. I think it's good to be required. You have to see a doctor and get a license, obtain it legally. And I think it keeps a lot of the ne'er-do-wells out of the business, so to speak.
You're like, hey, I go there.
You're a businessman in a business that many don't agree with. Some of the negative effects of marijuana that are brought up are addiction, intoxication, effects on the brain, heart, or lungs. What do you respond to them?
You need to be realistic. Marijuana is far less dangerous than alcohol. Marijuana is far less dangerous than tobacco. Marijuana is far less dangerous than pharmaceutical drugs. Nobody has ever, in the history of the world, ever died from an overdose of marijuana, yet all 3 of those are possible. And it simply is not as dangerous as these other things that people consume that studies are showing may cause harm to individuals.